Ava, we need your room. My stepmother's voice echoed down the hallway. Cool, businesslike, not a trace of affection. I glanced up from my dual monitor setup, where I'd been fine-tuning real-time trading algorithms since sunrise. Excuse me? Chloe's moving back in, fresh from Wharton with her MBA. She needs a suitable space to set up her consulting hub, and your room gets the best Wi-Fi signal. Her gaze flicked over my setup like it was clutter, not code. You'll be fine in the garage. We cleared it out this morning. I was 26, living at my late grandfather's estate in Palo Alto, where my father and stepmother now ruled like Silicon Valley royalty. I worked remotely for a crypto hedge fund while bootstrapping my own platform. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine. Not that they cared. The garage. There's no insulation. Then maybe this will light a fire under you, my father said, stepping in unannounced. It's time you stopped playing techie and started thinking seriously about your future. Like Chloe. Ah, Chloe, the prodigy, the polished Ivy League grad whose consulting firm had yet to secure a single client, but who still got featured in family Christmas cards like she'd won a Nobel. I already have a job, I murmured. My role as lead quant at a rising DeFi startup and the stealth project I was building meant nothing to them, especially compared to Chloe's glossy LinkedIn updates. You playing stock market on your laptop isn't a job, my stepmother scoffed. Chloe needs this space for real work. She's going places. I scanned the walls I'd papered with flowcharts and neural net drafts, visual blueprints of my AI-based investment engine. They saw chaos, I saw legacy. Fine, I said, turning back to my code. I'll go. Not because I was defeated, but because I was done. 3 years of silent belittling. 3 years of watching them toast Chloe while ignoring my grind. You've got until noon, my father said. Her desk is being delivered tomorrow. Noon. That almost made me laugh. Because at noon tomorrow, Ava Langston's fintech system Zephyr would officially go live. That night, as I boxed up my monitors, my phone pinged. Encrypted text from Arjun, my CTO. Launch protocol locked. Zephyr goes live at 12 o'clock PST. 1-800-GO-PST. Perfect. I smiled to myself, picturing the ripple effect that would start in less than 24 hours. For 3 relentless years, I had been refining an advanced predictive algorithm, one that could analyze global market trends and execute trades with near clairvoyant precision. What they thought was just me playing stock market on my laptop had evolved into Zephyr Technologies, a fintech powerhouse, cloaked in anonymity behind layers of legal shields and offshore entities. While my father boasted to colleagues about Chloe's next big client pitch, I quietly built a trading engine that would outpace Wall Street itself. That startup I supposedly worked for? A cover. The real company, Zephyr, occupied the top floors of a downtown San Francisco tower, unmarked and impenetrable. And tomorrow, Zephyr would officially launch its public-facing product, Zephyr Pulse, an autonomous trading platform that would redefine algorithmic investing, and just so happened to target legacy institutions for disruption. A new message from Arjun. Phase 1 confirmed. Zephyr's acquisition of Meridian Trust is finalized. Meridian Trust, my family's bank, the one they used to fund Chloe's tuition and their luxury upgrades, while telling me there just wasn't room in the budget to invest in my first startup? By morning, they'd wake up to find that their precious institution now answered to me. I sealed the last cardboard box as Chloe's voice echoed through the hallway. Mom, the decorator needs to know if we're going modern glam or coastal chic for Ava's old room. My room, my sanctuary, the one they'd always said was temporary until someone more successful came along. I thought of the Mike graduation they skipped for a wine tasting weekend, of the startup launch I financed on my own credit cards while they posted about Chloe's entrepreneurial spirit. Ava, my stepmother's voice cut in. Don't forget to leave your house key. You won't be coming back. I placed it on the desk without a word. They were right, I wasn't coming back. As I loaded the last box into my car, I could hear them chatting in the kitchen, buzzing about accent walls and velvet drapes. This space should reflect real ambition, not whatever Ava was doing. I slid into the driver's seat and opened my laptop. Typed in one line of code. Initiate Tiger Precaution. Authorization. Zephyr Prime. Then I pressed Enter. Protocol Tiger initiated. System-wide execution begins in 8 hours. The alert blinked across my laptop screen in clean, clinical text. I closed the lid and started my car, not a luxury coupe with vanity plates like Chloe's, but a modest hybrid, unassuming, intentional, just one more piece of the mask I'd worn for years. Because tomorrow, everything would shift. Tomorrow they'd understand what earned success really looked like. But before they saw power, they'd feel helpless. I drove through the glowing city streets to my true home, a penthouse on the top floor of ArcLight Towers, the most exclusive residence in San Francisco. The valet opened the garage for me, the concierge greeted me by name, and the elevator took me straight to a private foyer. Up here, I wasn't the underachiever. I was Ms. Langston, the elusive founder of Zephyr Technologies. I entered my sleek home office, screens blinking with real-time data streams. Zephyr Pulse was primed for launch. This wasn't just about disrupting Wall Street anymore. The system we were deploying would scan and flag illicit financial flows and shell structures, exposing, in particular, the sketchy accounting practices that had kept Langston Equity Holdings falsely inflated for years. The same firm my father had used to create Chloe's undisclosed trust accounts, while telling me to build something of my own. Buzz. A new message lit up my screen. A family group chat. Dinner tomorrow night at Bellerive to celebrate Chloe's consulting debut. Ava, you're welcome if you've figured out your living situation. Wear something appropriate. Bellerive, their favorite place to flaunt their status. The same place where, 5 years ago, they toasted Chloe's MBA while I waited tables 2 blocks away to pay for my laptop. The same restaurant where, tomorrow, their platinum cards would fail, because the very institution backing them would be under my ownership. I typed a reply. I'll be there. Then I opened the folder labeled Project Homecoming, a meticulously documented trail of every instance of neglect, favoritism, and financial hypocrisy, cross-referenced with Zephyr's internal files confirming our upcoming takeover of Langston Equity and its affiliate banks. Ms. Langston, the board is assembled for final launch briefing, my assistant said over the intercom. Thank you, Serena, I'm on my way. I paused at the mirror. No more invisibility, no more playing small. I wasn't Ava the afterthought anymore. Tomorrow night, as I took my seat at Bellerive, I wouldn't be crashing their celebration. I'd be rewriting the narrative. They laughed freely, toasting Chloe's latest accomplishment as if the world revolved around her LinkedIn updates. My phone buzzed again. Another secure message from Arjun. Tiger protocol fully deployed, all systems exceeding projected benchmarks, Meridian Trust acquisition finalized, ownership confirmed. I slid the phone into my clutch and stepped through the gold-framed doors of Bellerive, the restaurant my family revered as their social temple. The maitre d', Bernard, spotted me instantly, not as Ava the overlooked daughter, but as Miss Langston, principal owner of the very building we were standing in. Your usual table, Miss Langston? He asked with a subtle bow. I shook my head, eyes flicking toward the corner. Not tonight, Bernard, I'm joining them. I approached just as Chloe was gesturing with perfectly manicured fingers describing her view. Top floor, 47th story, skyline on one side, Bay Bridge on the other, she beamed. My stepmother's eyes widened slightly when she saw me. Ava? You actually came? We already ordered, my father added, not looking up. I had a few things to take care of, I said evenly, taking the last seat, farthest from the center, as always. Business? Chloe smirked. Is that what you call couch surfing these days? My father finally looked up, undoubtedly still checking his Langston Equity stock. You're staying somewhere respectable, right? We have a family name to uphold. Before I could answer, Chloe jumped back in. The CEO personally walked me through orientation. He says I could be a director in 5 years. Speaking of directors, I cut in smoothly, did you hear about the board overhaul at Meridian Trust? My father paused. What overhaul? Just then, a server approached with fresh champagne. My stepmother reached for her purse. Let's get another bottle. It's a celebration after all, my treat. I watched silently as she extended her platinum card. I already knew what would happen. Minutes later, the waiter returned, voice tense. "Apologies, ma'am, but your card was declined." "That's absurd," she barked. "Try again." "3 times already, ma'am. Perhaps another?" My father, now visibly irritated, pulled out his own card. The waiter took it without a word, then returned with the same apologetic look. "I'm sorry, sir. This one as well." Chloe let out a soft sigh and reached for her Morgan Stanley corporate card. "Ugh, fine. Here, let me—" "If you're still with me, you're about to see what real power looks like. So hit that subscribe button and join me for the moment they realize the person they dismissed now controls everything they thought they owned." "That won't work either," I said quietly, setting my water glass down. All heads turned toward me. "What do you mean?" my father asked sharply, already sensing the shift in tone. I met his gaze, steady. "About Meridian Trust. There's been a change in leadership. As of midnight, all account activity is under new management." My stepmother's face paled. "What are you saying?" "Protocol, Tiger." I leaned back in my chair, watching as the puzzle slowly clicked into place behind my father's eyes. He'd spent decades in finance. He'd heard whispers about a new player disrupting the system. "That's impossible," he muttered. "Zephyr's system, the one everyone's been talking about," I confirmed. "The one that just finalized its acquisition of Meridian Trust." Chloe blinked, confused. "What does that have to do with our cards not working?" "Standard protocol." I folded my hands calmly. "The system identified a series of suspicious activities across your personal and corporate accounts. Hidden trusts, unusual transfers, creative tax routing. Until they're cleared, everything gets frozen." My father's face darkened. "How do you know this?" I smiled. "Because I built it. I am Zephyr Technologies." Silence dropped like a bomb. Even Chloe's constant hum of self-congratulation went quiet. "That's absurd," she finally said. "You work at some garage startup." "A cover," I replied coolly. "Zephyr operates through dozens of shell firms. That little startup? One node in a global structure. We employ over 3,000 people in 15 countries. As of today, we control the infrastructure of your entire financial footprint." My stepmother's hands trembled around her napkin. "But you're just—" "Just what?" I cut in. "Just the girl you told to sleep in the garage? Just the disappointment who wasn't worth investing in? Just the one who wasn't Chloe?" I pulled a black, unmarked card from my clutch and handed it to the hovering waiter. A small Zephyr Prime insignia shimmered in the corner. "The champagne's on me, actually. Everything they've ordered here for the last 5 years has been on me. I bought this building 3 years ago." The waiter gave a small bow. "Of course, Miss Langston." "Langston?" my father repeated, stunned. "You're Ava Langston?" I nodded once. "The same Ava Langston who built the very system you just tried to use. You might have missed it, too busy following Chloe's press mentions to notice what I was building." Chloe's lips parted slightly, her face ghostly pale. "And yes, the Morgan Stanley merger? Their trading platform partner is Zephyr. You'll be using my tech. If you're still there after the review, if you're still watching, you've seen the false start, but it's just beginning. Tap subscribe and stick around, because next they learn what it means when the girl they dismissed becomes the architect of their downfall." "Protocol Tiger has already flagged some unusual activity in your department's trading history, Chloe," I said evenly. "So if I were you, I wouldn't bank on keeping that director track." My stepmother leaned across the table, voice trembling. "Ava, sweetheart, can't we talk about this? We're still family." "Family?" I stood slowly, letting my eyes meet each of theirs. My father's flushed with anger, my stepmother's pale with fear. Chloe's stunned and silent. "Family doesn't evict you for not being the favorite. Family doesn't ignore your achievements just because they weren't handed down by connections. Family doesn't skip your graduation for a brunch at the yacht club." I picked up my purse. Deep green alligator leather, subtle but unmistakably elite, worth more than the sedan my father bragged about in his office garage. "Your accounts will remain frozen until our audit is complete," I continued. "And based on what Protocol Tiger is already uncovering, I'd prepare for a call from the SEC, probably before the weekend." You can't do this, my father growled. I already did, I smiled, then paused mid-turn. Oh, and Chloe? I tilted my head. If you're looking for a place to crash, I hear the garage gets excellent sunlight this time of year. I walked out without looking back. Behind me, my stepmother's muffled sobs, my father's angry muttering, Chloe's stunned silence. In my hand, my phone, buzzing with an encrypted update from Arjun. Protocol Tiger response, historic. Zephyr stock has tripled since open. I laughed under my breath. That cramped garage they'd condemned me to? It was where I wrote the first line of code for Zephyr Technologies, the beginning of the system that now owned their legacy. Over the next few weeks, everything unraveled. The SEC investigation exposed years of shady ledgers at Langston Equity Holdings. Chloe's position was dissolved during a full restructuring at Morgan Stanley. My stepmother's social invitations dried up faster than their frozen accounts. And me? I kept building not for their recognition, but because I finally understood. True success isn't about boardroom bragging rights or inherited prestige. It's about creating something with impact. These days, when people ask me how it all started, I tell them the truth. Sometimes getting kicked out is the best thing that can happen to you. And sometimes the best revenge is served with a declined platinum card at their favorite table in Bellary. Balfalay Fun. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you. For listening, for seeing what they refused to see in me for years. I wasn't the perfect daughter. I wasn't the golden child. But I was the one who built something from nothing. And maybe that's why I'm speaking to you now. Because I know I'm not alone. So, tell me, have you ever been overlooked, doubted, treated like a burden in your own home while someone else was handed the spotlight? Drop a comment below and share your story. I want to hear from you, because this isn't just about me. It's about all of us who were told we weren't enough and then proved we were more than they ever imagined. And if you've ever been pushed out, cast aside, or underestimated, don't break, build. Build something so powerful that one day those who dismissed you will have no choice but to see you. Hit that subscribe button if you believe in that kind of power, not revenge for revenge's sake, but the kind of quiet victory that changes everything. Because sometimes the best thing they can do is doubt you. And the best thing you can do is rise anyway.